Welcome to From Betrayal to Breakthrough, and here is a mini dose of Dr. Debi where I'm sharing tips, suggestions, strategies, and sometimes just motivation to have you move past your betrayal once and for all. I did 2 TEDx talks. The second one was, do you have post-betrayal syndrome? And every once in a while, I check in on the page and respond to some of the comments there. Well, I did it today, and there was an overwhelming amount of comments where people just absolutely do not believe it's possible for a betrayer to change. And that's not true. There are some where they're just on to the next and that's it. And I'm not talking about those people, but for some betrayers, it is the absolute biggest shakeup, biggest wake-up call of their life, and they change everything. And for those who reconcile, it's been my own personal experience and the experience of lots of people within the PBT Institute. You do not reconcile with someone who isn't changing. But if you can, if you want to, certainly you don't have to do anything, but your healing is priority. And if you're considering reconciling with that person, you need to see that they're 100% different than the version of them who could betray. Is it possible? Yes, it is. It's something our coaches have done. It's something some of our members have done. It's something I've done personally. And I never in a bazillion years would have done that with a betrayer who didn't completely 100% change. When that happens, it creates an entirely new relationship where all the rules are changed based on who you are, what you need, what you're ready for now. And it allows you to take a look at everything that you were and what no longer serves. You leave all that behind and you decide who you want to be, what rules you need, what values, what's important to you. And if it's not a fit for that other person, that's totally fine. But it's really based on who you're ready to become now. And when that's the case, 2 people can have an entirely new and improved 2.0 version of their relationship. They never would have had the opportunity to have had the betrayal not happen. Now, I'm not saying that it's a good thing at all. I'm not saying it's not the most painful experience ever. It is. But I am saying that if that's where you are, you may have the opportunity to create something entirely new that never would have happened had that not happened. So this isn't about a weakness or what's wrong with you. No, it's not. I've been in the ICU. I've lost loved ones. This was the hardest thing I've ever done. It's something that may be an option for you too. Hope that helps. Someone just asked me about this and I thought it would help. He said, at night, it's really hard to sleep. I have a lot of nightmares. And it's so common when you're healing from betrayal. Everything you were able to maybe just avoid, distract yourself from during the day comes out in full force at night. It's not to say that you should always be distracting yourself. Sometimes there are these healthy distractions just so you can function, so you could work, so you could take care of your kids, whatever it is. But at night, everything you were trying to sort of put aside comes out and sometimes in full force. So what can you do? Well, one of the things that I always recommend is listening to something at night, something soothing, something calming, something relaxing. Because think about it. If you're sleeping 5, 6, 7, whatever hours, whatever you're marinating on can either help you or hurt you. So if you're not thinking about anything positive and you're thinking about the pain and the heartbreak and all of that, well, that's what you're given time to at night. But if instead you're thinking of something or just, listening to something calming, soothing, something spiritual, affirmations, music, whatever it is for you, well, that's helping you at night. And one of the things I always recommend is also wearing some kind of headset. And sometimes it has to be on with the volume kind of high. And people say loud. Why should it be loud? It has to be louder than your thoughts. It has to be louder than the images. So many of those things that come at you. It just needs to be a little bit louder than maybe what is comfortable until you just don't need it. And this is really helpful. There are so many different versions of this, but it's just a headband. You see this? And it ties in with your phone. And this way you can sleep, you could turn, it doesn't interfere with anything, but you're hearing what you need, getting the sleep you need most importantly, because you cannot heal without sleep. They're just dealing with these nightmares until you manage, until you process, until it becomes a thing of the past. I hope that helps.
If you've been through other traumas besides betrayal, let's say death of a loved one, disease, natural disaster, you may be wondering, I don't get it. Betrayal feels so different. Not to say what's better or worse, they all stink, but betrayal is a very different type of trauma. And in fact, when I did my study, the PhD study on betrayal, that was the first discovery. What was discovered was betrayal is very different, and here's why. Because it feels so intentional, we take it so personally. So the entire self is shattered. Think about it. Rejection, abandonment, belonging, confidence, worthiness, trust. They're all shattered. Like, let's say you lose someone you love. You grieve, you're sad, you mourn the lost. Life will never be the same. But you don't think you're crazy. You don't lose your ability to trust. You don't necessarily take it personally. Because betrayal, it feels so intentional. That's what makes it so different. So I coined a new term, post-betrayal transformation, because in a lot of other traumas, let's say you lose someone you love, you may come out of that realizing, you know what, life is short. Let me appreciate the people I'm with. Let me love the time I have here. That's a feature of post-traumatic growth. But betrayal, yes, it involves the rebuild of your life, but it also involves the rebuild of yourself. So post-betrayal transformation is the complete and total rebuild of your life and yourself after an experience with betrayal. So if you were wondering, is it different? Why is this hitting me so hard? It's because of all the aspects of the self that have been shattered. The good news, you can rebuild, not only heal from and rebuild yourself, you can rebuild your life. You can absolutely transform after betrayal. It's not just hopeful, it's predictable. There's a roadmap, and the roadmap it's the 5 stages from betrayal to breakthrough. So you may have heard me talking about that, but that is the road through. Most people stop at stage 3. No need to. Check my bio for all kinds of resources to move you through the 5 stages from betrayal to breakthrough. But you're not crazy. Betrayal is different. Hope that helps.
You need the right tools, support, and the right community to move through the 5 stages from betrayal to breakthrough. And we have all that within the PBT Institute. So join us at the PBT, as in post-betrayal transformation, thepbtinstitute.com. There's a version of you who's so confident, healthy, peaceful, and happy on the other end of your healing, and we can't wait to help you get there. We got you. Thanks for listening, and here's to your breakthrough.